Hi, beautiful people. It's Salamata, and I am back. And interesting enough, I wanted the podcast to go on video already, but I am having a trouble choosing a camera. My plan was to try out the cameras that the school had over the summer, but they were moving the cage, so I couldn't even access them. And then I just hadn't thought about the podcast, so sad to say, for so long now. Because I also have another podcast with the school. So sometimes I feel like I'm talking about the same thing all the time because I'm also like such a passionate essay writer for my classes that it's everything I yap about is everything I think about, is everything I read about, it's everything I write about. So sometimes I just feel like I'm doing everything too many times. But because the essays and deadlines haven't dropped on me yet, I want to go through and tell you guys my favorite products and where I am right now. Like, first of all, I'm in my new room. Y'all, I'm an RA. I'm an RA, like I'm in charge. Like I knock on the door and I check in with the people. Honestly, love my residents. Shout out to y'all if y'all ever find this. I absolutely adore my residents. Um, my room is still coming together. If you know me, you know like I'm rearranging this shit constantly. Like it needs to like have the vibe. I'm missing a rug in here, and then I think I'm gonna move my desk. But I don't know, like the desk is growing on me. But I think I'm gonna move it because I like the wall space, and then I can put more mirror coverage over there. I actually don't know if I'm putting a mirror over there because I want to keep my bed where it's at. Honestly, room tour is always going to drop when I move out, and you guys get to see the final layout, but you get to hear me talk about it. Like, what can I say? Um, so yeah, it's kind of coming together though. I have to finish my paintings. I have made a vision board for here, but I think I'm making a vision board this week on Thursday. Um, I'm so excited because I'll be on duty too. Honestly, like I said, love being an RA. Everything else I've low-key like been forgetting. Like I'm a big Oni student now. Like I show up for the spirit days and stuff because I want to be more like spiritful. Like when it comes to the school, like I pay a lot to go here, so I need to like use their name and like do things. You know. Listen, college is a time you'll never get back, even if you continue going to school. Like the first 4 years, everybody says this is it. So I'm trying to make the most of it, actually. So there's that. I've been cooking a lot recently, which was one of the huge goals. I cooked for myself here, and then I went over to my friend's apartment and I cooked over there too. Um, you can just tell that like I haven't been around a kitchen in a bit, but I'm working on it. You know, we made banana muffins, we did burgers, we've done pasta. Um, we were trying to do a dinner party, but that's gonna all come together because I actually want to make invitations for those. And again, I'll show you guys in a dump. So basically, this podcast used to mostly correlate with my spam account, but I don't let people follow me on the spam anymore, which is really weird. But I'm thinking about opening it up and like continuing like the symbiotic relationship that like this account has. Um, on my fridge currently, I have my magnets from France, Montreal, and Belgium, and I want to put more cities on there. Oh, Vermont is also on there. Can't forget Vermont. If you know me, you know I love Vermont. And then it's a picture of me and Sophia, and I think it's so cute. And then the dishes that I didn't do. There's some chores sometimes that I'll just avoid for no reason. Like, I hate taking out the trash, and sometimes I avoid the dishes like a plague. But I'm always doing laundry for some reason. Like, I love clothes. So strange. Anyway, I'm looking at the products I want to tell you guys about. So, first thing I picked up is a remote, and it's for my LED lights in the room. But it's not those strip LEDs, because I got LED bulbs. Okay, get the bulbs, y'all. Get a lamp. Put a lamp together and put a bulb in your room. LED strips, I feel like the dots are looking at me like I just don't appreciate the experience at all. So those are cute. And like y'all know I be moving. Hold on. There you go. And like every room should have ambient lighting. And I feel like that's a huge sensory thing for me. Like lighting is really important to my spirit. Every room needs to have good lighting. It's the one thing we've all been putting together in my house right now. Like our hallway looks atrocious. And I was literally thinking I might get a lamp for out there, and we can do the bulbs instead and like have it plugged in. That's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing. RA training has taught me so much about like the making of like college living, down to like how many outlets are in a room, which is so interesting. But moving on. I feel like the LED bulbs are a little bit more grown up and you don't have to deal with the stickiness. And like I said, I don't like the fact that it feels like they're looking at me. Also, the next thing I picked up is these bangles. So they have like inspiration. And I do want to express and emphasize inspiration. It's like between jade bracelet and like bamboo bangle. And I think it's so pretty. And this is the only one I wear, honestly. It's like this honey brown color and I'm obsessed with it. The picture will be on Instagram so you guys can connect the dots because I'm literally just trying to describe it to the best that I can. And then there's this Gemini chain that I literally got at Ludlow Flea. And I can tag their account on IG too because that lady was like selling to me. And I feel like we're losing a lot of the customer service experience because people do not care for connection. That's like a dramatic hot take, but I feel like stores have been trying to push us to shop online so much more that like shopping in person can be so cold sometimes that I don't enjoy the experience, especially after I started thrifting, which is a whole conversation that people actually are having. The next thing is my Juicy tracksuit jacket. I never ended up getting the pink and I only got the black, and in having gotten the black, I wear it a lot and I feel like a lot of people have the pink. So I'd be in the black by myself, if that makes sense. So I feel like I made the right call. I can't wait for there to be a Y2K anything because I feel like I'm stacking the chains hoop combo situation. I'm trying to start collecting like my big girl jewelry, so I'm excited about that. Speaking of big girl jewelry, I picked up this watch. It's this beautiful watch, and the wrist and the face of the watch is made of wood, and the only thing that's glass is like the cover and like the background, and the accents are gold, and I think it's really beautiful. And I actually had to get this thing tightened because my mommy bought it for me. This was one of my birthday presents. There was a year where I was like, just get me watches, and I don't know where the half of them are. Like, I can't find my incline to save my life. But and then there's this beautiful bracelet that I actually bought myself for my birthday. The stone in the middle is an emerald green, and then has like diamonds around it, and it's a clasp bracelet. I've done almost lost this a million times. By the mercy of God, I still have it. And then realistically, if you know me to any extent, are my iron pills and my vitamin C, because that's a deadly combo and I need it for my living, for my survival. Let's jump to hair care. Okay, there's only one hair product on here, Blue Magic. I went back to the original green Blue Magic anti-breakage formula, the green one, y'all, and I miss the smell. I miss how moisturized it kept my hair, and I must go back to my roots. Like, literally having purchased this has made me rethink like what hairstyles I want to do. Like, and then I picked up the CoverGirl what's it called, Clean Fresh Yummy Gloss in the shade, because I feel like they all have scents, in the shade 350 Gorgeous Jelly. And it's this like reddish color, but when you put it on, it leaves a tint, but it's still clear. And it's like the best thing that like Beauty Supply lip gloss has given us, and like a Dior felt tip, like elf brush kind of vibe. I don't know, it's a nice in between and I fuck with it. There's this bracelet that's like a pearl chain, and the endings aren't clasped. It's a flower with a circular hole and then a straight bar that like stop each other. And I bought it off of a girl on Instagram. She had started a jewelry small business. I think this was like my freshman year, or was it sophomore? God, who can remember? But I bought it off of her and I got a couple pieces from her and I absolutely love them. Like, she's the one who got me to start wearing like cute little like half hoops. To this day, I still wear half hoops because of those designs. Like, credit where credit is due. The next thing is an eye mask. I was religiously sleeping with an eye mask, and I want to start taking my sleep seriously again. This started when I was actually a camp counselor in Vermont. That like the eye mask became a rule. Like, if I had my eye mask on, like, the kids know, like, I was out and that they should, you know, try to fend for themselves first. Which is a crazy way of putting it, but, like, they completely understood, like, how to take care of themselves. I ended up having a really great group of kids. I always think about them. It's like this, if you babysat, it's also a similar thing, or, like, tutored in any way. Like, you're just like, bro, where are all those kids? Like, I hope they grow up to, like, do well and, like, you know, live happy, full lives. It's crazy. It's like, how much of an impact have I also had in their lives? It's insane. But I think about them all the time, and one of them actually writes us, like, letters that I read religiously. Shout out to my kid. She got a dog. Stop it, I'm gonna cry right now. Okay, the next thing is an adapter. It's USB to USB-C, USB Type-C. I don't know what it's called, but I figured it out, and what it does is it connects, like, my mouse, my mic, all to my computer. And then I have a bunch of other ones, but I feel like that one is the most useful one. And then perfumes. Let's do scents next. Okay, so I was wearing Miss Dior. Good Lord, if I could read that. My cousin gave this to me. Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet Eau de Toilette. And this is what I wore out all summer. And I feel like it was, like, nice, airy, powdery all at the same time. And very... Let me see if I can spray it. No, like, I wore this one out. Like, this was the signature. And I also taught, so this was... It feels like just enough flour, just enough, like, powder, like, very fruity, though. It's cute. And then there's the... God knows I don't know how to say this. Dolce & Sense Rose de Damas. My aunt actually got this for me, and I don't even need to spray it because I've been wearing a lot recently. It's very powdery. It's just like a powdery rose scent. I literally compare it to deodorant in the way that it smells, but sometimes if I'm wearing a perfume that's, like, too sweet or, like, has too much oomph, I'll tone it down with that. It's like a granny scent. That's how I describe it. And then there was a candle that I got myself. It's Serene Palo Santo Sage and Incense. Somebody else actually picked this for me because I'd never pick a coconut wax, but it's a coconut wax blend by Allswell, and really, really love how it feels and how it smells. Really how it smells, but it, like, has the vibe of, like, it, like, has a bachelor pad vibe. Let me see if I can get something else. I'm really trying to describe this to y'all. I don't know. It just smells like home. It's like a cozy home. Like, definitely cabin vibes, I'm not gonna lie. Guys, I feel like I'm ready to have my winter cabin trip. I feel like as an adult, that's the one thing I have on my personal bucket list. Like, I need to go skiing. Hello. Put me on somebody's mountain. And like, okay, we joke about this, but the season keeps getting shorter and shorter. Like, at what point will I be grown up enough to have enough people I trust to go on a trip with? Because, baby, the way these hurricanes is coming, we probably never gonna be able to see that. We need to get it together. It's lip gloss reapplication. It's also 9 p.m. Y'all know my bedtime is 11:30 right now. And honestly, I hold myself to it. I be... Yesterday, my food came at 8 and I knocked out. I said, yup. At least I know all the things I need in life. Like, I think about it, my routine solid as fuck. Solid as fuck. And I really am successful when I stick with it. We must start there. I don't know when that pause, because, you know, my phone be dying. If you know me, my phone's gonna die. Like, it's the first thing you learn FaceTiming me. Like, bro, we're not gonna make it to a phone call. And the thing is, I'm gonna call you back. I do have that much respect, actually. And sometimes I don't call back because if I wasn't interested enough, I'm not calling back. But I largely do, right? Elena be knowing. Like, she knows it's coming. She knows it's coming. And I did it to her. And I haven't called her back yet because I was like, oh, like I'm gonna yap to the podcast real quick. But I did it to Elena a good 5 minutes ago because you guys, you want to know something? Like, one thing about me is I don't lie, and I feel like when they were teaching us honesty is the best policy, I swear to God, like I took that one to heart. Like I'm like, bet, like I don't lie to people at all, even little white lies when I feel like I should be lying. Sometimes I just I don't know, you might catch me in a dream and then I say it in your face, you know, like I don't. Yeah, I had a really honest mother. She taught me don't lie. um that has proven to be hard for me because I found out a lot of y'all bitches is really liars. Yes, we're really lying out here. White lies, like really manipulating people. Yo, my mommy told me to be honest with y'all. And I be hurting people's feelings sometimes, and that's when I'm like, yo, I should really know how to do this for real. Like, it started to get to a big age. Like, I don't want to be at no people's corporate job and like not know how to tell Susie that her dog is cute when the dog look like it need help. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't even know any Susies, but that was funny as fuck. Like, let me tell you something. I am West African, right? Fulani to be fair. Fulani to be fair. And I feel like y'all don't fuck with Fulanis. Let's get into that. Fulani braids was trending. We was cute for a second. Y'all don't fuck with us though? What's wrong? I feel like the second y'all started turning on light skins. Cause why y'all believe Fulani people not able to be dark? I get dark as shit. I am dark as shit. So is my brothers. And we're all very much Fulani born bred. The fact that I speak Fulani is, listen, when I get to speak Fulani, I get excited. And I like to speak Fulani with elders. That Fulani that got you referencing corn and fields. Like, I like speaking Fulani with old people. Honestly, I think about it all the time. I have only been exclusively conditioned to marry a Fulani man because I'm a little scared, you guys. And let me say something. The only stipulations on the person that I marry is that they're Muslim. Because I feel like you can learn any culture. Honestly, let me take that back. Because do I even fully mean that? Because I've been thinking about it. Feel like me personally, I feel like I have read too much and taught too much about the historical relationships between black people and white people to care to have an interracial relationship. That's just me personally. And every time I think about that, I'm like, bro, like sometimes our personal biases really get in the way of us, you know, experiencing the world maybe to our fullest extent. But that's a boundary that I am so stiff on. And I don't know why, but it's just like, I don't see myself with a black man. Like, I can't. And, you know, I always be like, God forbid I'm limiting myself. Because if the love of my life, if the man that does it all for me end up being a white man, I'm going to giggle. I'm going to be like, that took you a little too long, personally speaking. Y'all, I also want to tell y'all I did a magic trick yesterday. Not only did I do my laundry that day, I also put it away that day, and I folded it. I feel like, listen, that's a big deal. Honestly, we were not allowed to do it any other way in my household because my mom would lose her head. Like, Mata would be gone. It's not recording nothing but silence. Sometimes I think about the fact that, like, I've been doing this podcast shit since I was 14. Well, maybe when I was 13. First episode dropped when I was 14. I feel like the fact that the thing that compelled me to start a podcast the most was Dani Leigh being colorist is always interesting. Because I just went to put the podcast on YouTube because I forgot I can do that. This podcast is available everywhere. I could have monetized this 4 years ago. But the idea of making money is so weird to me that I'm like, ugh. But people do want to hear me talk, and I think that's insane. Shout out to the international listeners. I love y'all down. There's nothing like seeing the little globe And honestly, if you consider the fact that that's what made me speak up in the first place, you'd be shocked to know that I don't know what Shorty is up to today. But here's how the rest of the story plays out, as long as I was listening to that story, because that was also interesting in the way that, like, it was one of the first scenes of domestic violence we were witnessing as a, like, a social media collective. And people did not pass the vibe check. Because even when it got to Megan, and then it got to be, what's her face? Oh my god. Megan, and then even FK Twigs. Anyway, every instance of domestic violence that has happened in the media has happened in the way that it takes responsibility less and less away. It takes responsibility, hold on, let me gather it, more and more away from the actual perpetrator of said crime or violence, or the environment that creates these kind of people, and put it onto the victim. And I think the first person who was victimized by this on the internet, and I think about this all the time, is Monica Lewinsky. Shout out to Monica Lewinsky. Like, yes, I only know her to begin with from rap lyrics, and then when I was doing American history, through the dress. I don't want to limit it to the dress, because it's like the president of the United States did do that and got to keep his job and stay married. Isn't that insane? Imagine you woke up and that was on the news, and like your dad did that. Insane. And nobody talked about him. Like, no one talked about him at all. And I think about that all the time. Like, I go through the papers of like our school, and somehow like that was topic of conversation, and no one could even put the blame on Blake Clinton, even to the extent when Bell Hooks even writes about it. She's like, this girl, or this, newly found woman, young woman, who has used her like sexuality to be with this man of power, so that she could be in proximity to power. And I think that's a really interesting take, even by a woman. But she also had like, she has a lot of things about like Beyonce and oh my god, Lil' Kim, and she even interviews her. Listen, I think about these things constantly, because what? Just imagine Lil' Kim, Bell Hooks, Toni Morrison, and Tracy Chapman in a room. Like, that's the conversations I want to see. I love roundtable talk. I love all that shit. Like, anybody that has ever put a circular table and had people discussing, especially like, I think the Hollywood Wire does it. I could be fucking this up, I'm so sorry, but where like actors literally sit around and like have a conversation. I like the one around food and dinner, but I want to see more black people doing it. I want more black stories being told, because what Wayman Williams is telling us, even though we've known that family has been, geniuses and like talented people for years and years and years and years, what is coming out now is insane. It's insane. Like, I want to make sure that black people get more mics in their hands, and more of our stories get told all over the world, especially like, I saw Any Given Sunday, Any Popoola. I've been practicing that. I hope I don't fuck it up when it actually counts. But she was talking about how she studied Yoruba. I don't know why I said it like that. She studied Yoruba at Harvard, and then I went to check if they had Fulani, and they actually have Pular, which is the type of Fulani that I speak. So I was like, that would be really cool to do, actually. Like, actually, that'd be really cool. I don't know. I feel like I keep opting out to go out of these, like, very, in my opinion, from actually just my stereotyping, honestly, of, like, these big button-up suit, prestigious organizations, because, I want the ability and the freedom in the room and the support to always go after what I want to go after. I feel like even through like the support of like the school podcast or like all the shit I do here, honestly, because a lot of people have a lot of faith in me, and I think it's pretty cool. All that shit I feel like would be harder for me to do with visibility at a school that's like uptight. And I think I'm also concerned about learning a new language of conversation, a new language of morals and acceptance, like coming into new space, like you're literally just having to learn a new culture, which is why I didn't transfer. But having to think about where I want to take myself to grad school and stuff, like what do I want to focus on necessarily, that's not a bad spot to be. And it's still on the East Coast. Boston is interesting. I'm gonna need to have my license, like all these things, and then that's how I plan my little life. And the fact that I was sitting talking like this to a mic when I was 16 years old, planning where I was gonna go to college, having similar conversation, I find really beautiful about like the way I can keep a rhythm and consistency to my life even when I feel like it's falling apart around me. And I think this is sticking it out that like we celebrate in September. Like I was doing an intake form because I'm looking for a new therapist. Okay, shout out to Salamata from a few months ago who really locked in and figured out how to find people I fuck with. Now she thought about how her schedule was gonna look. Would have appreciated that a little bit more, but that's besides the point. I feel like one day I'm gonna get my voice fully back, and that's gonna be a glorious day. And then I'm gonna take for granted all this time that I have to breathe with both my nostrils, because now I'm getting to sound like a country girl. Anyway, what was I talking about? See, that's what happens, and then I have no clue what I talked about. Oh, I want to thank me for the fact that like I picked a school with good colors too. I'm not gonna lie. Very mindful, very demure, very cutesy. Red is my color. I hate to say it, red is my color. Yes. Very fucking with it. I feel like I ate red day. I try. I try. I feel like when I purchased those pants, I felt like it was a real sign. And honestly, with the steamer, you're gonna see me in those red pants. Call them clown pants, honestly. Whatever we want to do it. But I'm wearing those pants. I love those pants so much. That was in my first ThredUp order. And ThredUp, I feel like we keep having this conversation, but here's how this should work. You sponsor me to do a video, not to dress myself, but to dress people in my life, right? Because we need to switch it up with this. Like, okay, like you got a free shopping spree. No. Bring it back to like Y2K 2000s. Not makeover level shit, because those bitches were mean, but like free shopping spree. Free day spa, free makeover type shit. Like, let's go back to that, okay? Let's tell women they're beautiful, right? So then you give me money and I get to shop for these people and put together outfits for them, and then they talk about like how the clothes make them feel better, and we can do like a cute little show. Listen, I love pitching to brands. Honestly, the fact that I didn't go into marketing is because like I love to think that marketing is just like psychology for the capitalist, because marketing is a beautiful field. It is like get people where they need to be. Like I'm staring at my bed right now. Marketing worked overtime. Like my baby Misa, I got him from Walmart. I hope a lot of people know that actually, because I feel like I told the whole world. Once I got him, I felt like I birthed him. I felt so like connected to my baby, and people were like, "What the fuck is it? Is it a cow or a bunny?" Because bunny ears, but like cow spots, whatever. And I tell people all the time, like, don't even question my child. Just be glad you're in this aura. Grabbed him in the Walmart. He literally, I feel like he was speaking to me. He was like, "I need to go home with you," and I was like, "Sure, my child." And so it happened. And that happened a couple times while we were at that store, and we ended up getting like 5 of them. Listen, then my Build-A-Bear, which was a similar process, except I like literally made you and then gave you a birth certificate. The way I have this birth certificate saved, shout out Dahlia, And I want to frame it, honestly. I might get it when I go home and frame it and put it up. That would be so cute. I'll be like, see, guys, that's my baby's birth certificate. And then there's a really cute squishmallow. It's a yellow egg, and it has a like rainbow bow tie. It's like pastel tie dye. It's really cute. And Lauren actually gave me that one. And then another one from Walmart. Jesus, Walmart kind of snapped on this one. It's like floral embroidery, and the background of the front is cotton, and then the back is polyester and it's striped, which I thought was cool because I could wipe it down. And then Target really speaks to me way too much. I feel like I'm so basic for that though. Like, Target speaks to us all, and that should be studied. Really, we should think about that and really explore what that means for the people in our like culture, right? I feel like the only reason I couldn't do radio, I literally say this every time, is I forget where like the hot spot of the mic is. That's why when I listen back to half of these episodes, I'm like, I assaulted these people's ears. And then people listen to it and they're like, oh my god, it was so good. I don't know if we're listening to the same thing, but it's also like listening to my voice. Like, I used to fall asleep editing my podcast. That's really why I don't be hearing them. Unless I accidentally like said something to upload. Like, I used to peer pressure myself like that. I'd be like, okay, you have to upload this by this time, or it's gonna upload unedited. And some conversations were uploaded unedited, and whoever got to listen to those just knows the tea. Knows the tea. I don't even want to make predictions for the school year. I just want to make prayers. Okay, watching I Spy Swap praying. That was crazy. That was crazy. That's y'all. I feel like I've seen enough TikToks of that whole situation, and being a person from the Bronx and understanding the mannerisms. Maybe rehab. Like, let's bring back Y2K celebrities going to rehab without the conservative shit part. Don't think I forgot that now. Yeah, they tried to get Mariah Carey. Can you believe that? Yo, can you believe that? That was crazy. Shout out to Britney. I hope she's free by now. That's crazy. I feel like I talked about this on the podcast when it was literally trending. I feel like that must have been around the time I interviewed my brother. Bro, y'all, I don't know what age he turned on the podcast. Maybe like, when was that? My senior year? We're 2 years apart. 14? Okay, and I call him like a real teenager or some shit. But even by then, yo, that's crazy. But the kid is literally about to be a senior. He's about to be where I was. Yo, that was 4 years ago. And the way time flies is like unexpected. And the older you get, the quicker it goes. And I don't know what that's about. I've seen a couple TikToks of people be like, well, it's because when you're young, like when you're 4, a year is like a quarter of your life. Like, it's significantly more of your life than like when you're 16, where it's like, see, I don't, okay, y'all gonna have to bear with me. If I was 16, 1 year of my life is 1/16. Oh my god, I'm so smart, guys. I figured it out. You know? Anyway, that was really funny. I haven't really mastered math since Algebra 1. I had to say it. And the fact that I was such a COVID student and like tried my best though, that's what it fucking counts for. Alright, you guys, my phone is dying on you now. It is currently on 4%, but we have really yapped to an extent that like I didn't know I could. And I'm ready to go to sleep. So I can't make my sleepy girl mocktail tonight because I left it at my friend's house. I know. So it'll just be water and maybe honey. Maybe a shot of honey. Really a spoonful, honestly. More like a dollop. But I love the honey so much. And then I'm probably just gonna watch a video till I fall asleep, or be responsible and charge my computer. I'm gonna wake up early anyway, because I want to try to pray suhoor and then pray suhoor. That's not the prayer, but that's how it sounds when I try to say it in Arabic. Pray fajr and stay up like I used to stay up for suhoor. Goodness gracious. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back for more episodes, and don't forget to tune back in next week, because we does this yapping shit. Good night. Thank you for spending the night with me.